Okay, I have a confession to make. I do not have a list ready for you for my Homeschool Mom Survival Kit. I don't have like a cute 5 things you need to survive as a homeschool mom or anything like that. I was so excited to be a part of this collaboration that I immediately agreed and was like, yes, that's so cool. I totally want to be a part of that. My friend Anna is hosting this collaboration, and there's a playlist down below with tons of moms sharing with you their Homeschool Mom Survival Kit or kits. If you don't know Anna, I just love her. She's always so good about being organized in her videos, and she's an organized mom, and that is like her thing. She is all about systems and routines and organization and strategies. Like, she is the queen of all of that. So I love watching Anna. I love learning from her because we all have different strengths, right? And I'm sure there'll be other moms in this playlist that have all different styles and strengths that we can all learn from. Some that we maybe connect more with others, but I am just so excited for me and for all of you to learn from the other moms in this playlist. So if you do not know Anna, definitely check out her channel. She is linked down below. She is a wealth of knowledge. But I need to know, what is in your Homeschool Mom Survival Kit? Whether it's physical things that we homeschool moms need to have, or homeschool survival kit, like mindsets, those kinds of things. Let me know down below. I would love to know what you think we need as homeschool moms. What gets you through? I wanted to come up with something clever for you guys and like really have like a winning strategy and survival kit. And like, these are the things you need to do. But I couldn't come up with anything. So I decided I was just gonna sit down and chat with you guys and just see where it takes us, and hopefully offer some advice and encouragement and tips for some of you moms. If you're new here, I'm Christina. I am a homeschooling mom to 5 kids, ages 2 through 14. And I'm so excited to just chat with you and think about it like 2 moms sitting down, talking about homeschooling and how we make it work. The first thing I want to just say is, it's going to be different for every mom, right? Like, every mom is different, like every kid is different, like every family is different, which kind of leads into the first thing that I think is really important, and not only surviving homeschooling, but thriving in homeschooling, and even just as a mom, and even just in your family, is to not fall into comparison and not worry if you are not as good as doing something as someone else, or that is not your strength, or you wish you were more like this person or that person or this mom or this family. And I think it's a fine line, right? Because we can learn so much from one another and we can be encouraged and inspired by one another, but there is a balance between that and letting those things make you feel less than. And so I just want to encourage you that in order to survive and thrive, you have to not crush yourself under the pressure of comparison, and realizing that we all have unique gifts and talents and strengths and weaknesses, and God has given this person, you and me, to our families for a purpose, to our children for a purpose, because He has put in us what they need. And those areas where we may feel like we're lacking and we don't have what they need, He can give us that strength, because His strength is made perfect in our weakness. So I just want to encourage you that if you're feeling discouraged, or you clicked on this video because you're like, yes, I need this survival kit, I need to know how to get through this, then that is the biggest piece of advice that I can offer you, is to lean on Him and to not compare yourself to other moms. Learn, be inspired, be encouraged, find community with other moms, but don't let comparison steal your joy and your confidence and your self-esteem as a mom, especially as a homeschooling mom, right? Because we can question if we're qualified, we can question if we know enough, we can question if we can really do this long term. So that would be my first piece of advice. The next thing that's on my heart to share would just be being flexible. So knowing what that looks like for you too, right? So going back to like our gifts and talents and our strengths and our personalities and all of those things. Some of us thrive under lots of structure and lots of schedule and color coding and planning and all of the things, and that is wonderful. I actually try really hard to get into that mode and then realize like I don't thrive there. And I try to grow in that area. And I think that's good for us to like push ourselves to grow in areas that may not come natural for us. But once again, like finding that balance of not trying to put a square peg in a round hole. Like if that is not where you thrive and that is not your jam, certainly try to grow in that area if you think it's beneficial to yourself and your children and your family. But then maybe think through like, where do I thrive? Maybe we thrive in more of a rhythm, and that's me. So we definitely have like a rhythm and routines and things that we do, but we don't have a lot of schedule. And I think part of that is personality. And part of it is family dynamics. So for us, we have toddlers through teens. So we have to remain flexible. We have to remain okay with things changing in an instant, day by day, week by week, and just flexing and realizing even what we start off with as a plan at the beginning of the homeschool year or the beginning of the month or beginning of whenever we're starting, it doesn't mean that it's going to work and stay that way, right? And so part of surviving and thriving as a homeschool mom, even just a mom, is realizing like our kids go through different ages and stages, and they're different ages at different times, and they're going through different stages at different times. And our families may be going through things, good things, bad things, just changes in general. And I think we will drive ourselves absolutely crazy if we hold so tight to a schedule and a plan that if it doesn't go that way, we feel like we've failed. We feel like we can't do this anymore. It's not working out. Like, obviously, I'm not cut out for this. Obviously, my kids aren't cut out for homeschooling. No, we have to be like, okay, like, this isn't working anymore. Let's reassess. Let's see, like, do we need to push through a little bit? Is it one of those moments that we need to learn through this and grow through this and press through? Or is it a moment where we need to revisit and like see if everyone's okay? See if something else might work better. See if someone needs something from us that is going to cause us to need to break out of the routine and the schedule in order to address that need, that real life need that might be going on inside of one of our kids or even just inside of us. And so I guess that's my next piece of advice, is to remain flexible and don't feel defeated when your plans don't work out. I think plans are great. I always have a general plan in my mind. I know where we want to go with things. I know what we're going to do for the day. But the more I walk this path, the more I realize that I need to become more comfortable with change, with not being able to have everything planned out and then being okay when it doesn't work out, when I do have it planned out. And so that's my encouragement to you, is find your comfort level or your sweet spot, so to speak, with planning and schedule, and then be okay to flex within that as well. If you're a super schedule type person and you thrive there and your family thrives there, that is beautiful. And then what is like where you need to be able to flex in order for it to not feel so restrictive that it's doing more harm than good, right? And then if you're, totally like an on-schooler, wild and free, like totally just wanting to flow and be free with your family and your family thrives there, also wonderful. But maybe, okay, where do I need to create some routines and some structures and some kind of anchors in our day, in our weeks, in our months that kind of ground us and kind of keep us feeling like things aren't just all over the place, right? And then wherever you find yourself in between that continuum, like where could you maybe break free in some areas, and then maybe where could you find structure in other areas? So all of that to say, be flexible in revisiting the plan, however much of a plan it is, to figure out what's going to work for your family for that season, maybe even differently for different kids, because different kids have different personalities and some need more structure than others and thrive in more structure than others, just like we do. So being okay with that. I think this goes for curriculum too. And so I just have to touch on that really soon. I keep saying this, but really soon I will have curriculum pick videos up for you guys for the upcoming school year. But curriculum in general, I think there's something to be said for not jumping all around to different curriculums anytime you feel like this isn't working, but also having the freedom to say, this isn't working, right? And I don't think curriculum's always the answer, right? I think, as a side note, we can sometimes think it's the curriculum. Like, this curriculum is not working. Like, math has become such a frustrating thing, such a point of, discomfort and contention or whatever it might be. Like, this curriculum isn't working. Sometimes it's true. Like, not every curriculum is the best fit for every kid, for every family. What's a good fit for one kid may not be a good fit for another. But I think we need to be careful to not put that much weight in the curriculum. Even though it is such an important piece of homeschooling, I think it's important to realize, like, curriculum isn't going to solve all of our problems, like a new curriculum, right? So again, balance and finding that sweet spot of not being so rigid in your decisions with curriculum that you're not willing to change if it best suits your family or a particular child, but not being so flippant with curriculum decisions that every other month we're changing curriculum and your kids are like, what's happening? Like, we can't even get a grip on anything before we completely get whiplash and change to something else. And this is coming from someone who loves all different curriculums and so many different things. And I really like to pick this from over here and that from over there and infuse that life and excitement and beauty into our days and be free to decide if, we want to try this now. So that's coming from someone who likes to be a little bit more free with curriculum. And even okay with not having curriculum for certain subjects or things you want to learn about or things you want to study. And so I think, again, finding that balance, right? So finding balance, I think, is kind of the theme of my video, the theme of our chat today. Like, find a balance between being inspired by other moms, but not being overwhelmed by comparison. And then finding the balance in not feeling so rigid to a schedule and a structure that it sucks the life out of things and stresses everybody out, but also not being so free that no one knows what's happening and no one has like the security of feeling like there are some things that are predictable. And then also finding that balance between not putting so much faith in curriculum that you think changing it is going to fix everything, but also not being so holding tight to it that you're not willing to flex and adjust and change when it's necessary. So I thought I was going to talk to you more about how much I love my new binding machine, because holy cow, do I love it. Like, I don't know why I waited as long as I did. I've had friends tell me, like, when are you getting a binding machine? Like, you need to stop going to Staples every time you need to bind something. But it was so easy, and it's only $5. So if that's a good choice for you, it's a good choice. But I love my binding machine. So I thought I was going to talk to you about my binding machine. Definitely Homeschool Mom Survival Kit is a cup of coffee. For me, definitely in the afternoon, because that's when I need it the most. And all of those things. But we went in a different direction today, and that's okay. I think that's the direction we were supposed to go in. So hopefully you found that encouraging. Hopefully balance in all of those areas will help us not only survive this homeschooling thing, but thrive in it. And so if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If any of this resonated with you, please let me know down below. I love getting to know you guys and talk to you moms and just build community with one another and support one another as we walk this journey together. And if you are new here, I would love if you would stick around, if you would subscribe. I share all kinds of different content here related to homeschooling and motherhood, curriculum, big family life, books, faith, all kinds of things. So if any of that sounds good to you, then I would love if you would subscribe, and you would also follow me over on Instagram if you're not already following me there at rooted_homelife. Don't forget to go check out Anna's channel and all the other moms in the playlist. I'll have them linked down below in the description box. I hope to see you soon in one of my next videos. And until next time, stay rooted.